Family business meetings are for successful members, Mom declared, her voice dripping with disdain as she blocked my entry to the conference room. Behind her, my brothers Michael and James exchanged smirks while Dad pretended to be absorbed in his papers. I have ideas that could help River's development, I insisted, clutching my carefully prepared presentation. The real estate market is changing. We need to adapt. Sweetie, Mom cut me off, adjusting her Hermès scarf. Managing a few rental properties doesn't qualify you to advise a billion-dollar development company. Leave the real business to those who understand it. The door closed in my face, leaving me standing in the hallway of our family's flagship building, Rivers Tower, a gleaming monument to old money and older thinking. Through the glass, I watched them take their usual seats. Dad at the head, Michael and James flanking him like perfect corporate princes. Mom orchestrating her monthly performance as the family matriarch. The same scene I'd witnessed since childhood, when they'd first decided I wasn't River's material. My phone buzzed. Probably another passive-aggressive text from James about my embarrassing attempt to join the meeting. Instead, it was my real estate broker. Deal closed. You now own controlling interest in Riverside Complex. I smiled, thinking of the massive property sitting directly across from Rivers Tower. The one my family had been trying to acquire for years, believing the elderly owner would only sell to respected traditional developers. They hadn't noticed his granddaughter was one of my tenants, or that I'd spent 6 months helping her navigate her own real estate ventures, or that she'd insisted on selling to me when the time came. Walking to my car, a modest Tesla rather than the family's preferred Italian sports cars, I passed the buildings I'd quietly acquired over the past 5 years. Each purchase funded by successfully managing and flipping small properties they'd dismissed. Each deal strengthening my position while they focused on their country club connections. Ms. Rivers, my assistant Sarah called. The bank confirmed the transfers. All holdings are consolidated under Alexandra Rivers Investments. And the audit? Complete. Rivers Development's market position is exactly as weak as we suspected. Their last 3 projects are hemorrhaging money. I drove to my real office. Not the cramped family company cubicle they'd grudgingly provided, but the top floor of a renovated industrial building I'd transformed into premium tech spaces. The kind of project they'd called risky, and beneath our brand. The wall of screens displayed my portfolio. 32 properties, each generating triple their projected revenue. Smart buildings with integrated tech, green initiatives that attracted premium tenants. Mixed-use developments that created thriving communities. Everything they claimed couldn't work. Their Q3 reports just leaked, Sarah announced, pulling up the data. Rivers Development missed earnings by 40%. 2 major investors are threatening to pull out. Any word from the banks? They're calling in loans next week. Your father's golf buddy at First National couldn't delay it anymore. I leaned back, watching the sunset paint Rivers Tower in ironic golden light. Time to make our move? Your lawyers confirmed. With Riverside Complex, you now control 60% of prime downtown real estate. Rivers Development can't complete any major projects without your cooperation. My phone lit up with family messages. Mom, dinner tonight? We need to discuss your unfortunate behavior. James, try that meeting stunt again and I'll have security remove you. Michael, some of us actually earned our place in this business. Dad as usual said nothing. His silence had been his weapon since I chose real estate over law school, independence over inheritance. Sarah, I decided, prepare the paperwork. It's time for a different kind of family meeting. That night I skipped the family dinner, working instead with my team to finalize tomorrow's announcements. Legal documents, press releases, transition plans. Everything meticulously prepared over years of patient waiting. At midnight the emails went out. Mandatory emergency board meeting. Time, 9 a.m. tomorrow. Location, Rivers Tower main boardroom. Called by, Alexandra Rivers Sue. Change in company leadership. Within minutes my phone exploded. Mom, what is this nonsense? James, you're not Sue. Stop embarrassing yourself. Michael, security will be notified. Dad's number appeared. First time in years. I let it ring. Sarah texted, all set for tomorrow. Your family's reactions. Exactly as expected, I replied. They still think they're in control. I worked through the night watching lights dim across my real estate empire. In Rivers Tower, I could see my family's offices still lit, probably scrambling to understand what was happening. Tomorrow they'd learn what successful really meant. And this time I wouldn't be the one standing in the hallway. At precisely 8:45 a.m., I entered Rivers Tower through my private entrance, an access point I'd acquired along with 51% of the building's ownership 6 months ago. My team had already secured the boardroom, replacing the traditional setup with my preferred modern conference layout. "Your family arrived early," Sarah reported, meeting me at the executive elevator. "They're currently with their lawyers in your father's office." "Former office," I corrected, stepping into the elevator. "How many board members showed up?" "All of them. The independent directors seem particularly interested in the ownership documents we distributed." The boardroom doors opened to chaos. Mom was arguing with security about removing my team. James was threatening lawsuits into his phone. Michael paced while frantically texting his contacts at the bank. Dad sat silent, staring at the documents revealing my complete takeover. "Good morning," I announced, my voice cutting through the noise. "Please take your seats. We have a lot to cover." "This is ridiculous," Mom sputtered. "You can't just declare yourself safe." "Actually, I activated the wall screens displaying ownership records. I can." "And did. Shall we review why?" The room fell silent as data filled the displays. My property acquisitions, strategic investments, and most importantly, the mounting evidence of Rivers Development's mismanagement under their leadership. "Over the past 5 years," I began, "while you were attending charity galas and golf tournaments, I was building a real estate empire. One that now controls most of downtown's prime development space." "Those small properties?" James scoffed. "Hardly an empire. Small." I pulled up more figures. "My portfolio's annual revenue is triple Rivers Development's. My occupancy rates are 98% compared to your 60%. And unlike you, I don't have $400 million in callable loans coming due next week." Dad's head snapped up. "How did you know about the loans?" I smiled. "I know everything, including how you've been hiding losses, inflating occupancy reports, and using personal connections to delay loan payments." Michael stood face red. "You've been spying on us?" "No, I've been doing due diligence. Something you might have tried instead of relying on country club handshakes." I distributed new folders to the independent board members. "You'll find comprehensive documentation of management failures, financial irregularities, and breach of fiduciary duty. As majority shareholder, I'm exercising my right to protect the company's interests." "Majority shareholder?" Mom laughed weakly. "That's impossible. The family trust was leveraged against properties that are now underwater," I completed. "Check page 3. The board members flipped pages, their expressions shifting from skepticism to concern. "This is a hostile takeover," James declared. "No," I corrected, "this is a rescue operation. Rivers Development is 3 months from bankruptcy. Your last 4 projects are stalled because you can't secure permits, which require my approval as owner of adjacent properties." Dad finally spoke, his voice heavy. "How long have you been planning this?" "Since the day Mom said family meetings were for successful members only." I met his gaze. "I decided to become very, very successful." I pulled up more data. My modernization plans, sustainable development initiatives, tech-integrated property management systems. "Rivers Development will be restructured," I continued. "All current executives will be replaced. The board will be reconstituted with qualified independent directors. And the company will finally enter the 21st century." "You can't do this to your family," Mom protested. "Family?" I laughed. "Like when you blocked my first development loan. Or when James spread rumors about my amateur property management. Or when Michael tried to poach my tenants. They had the grace to look embarrassed. As for what I can do, I activated the final screen. I own 51% of Rivers Tower itself. Your personal offices are being cleared as we speak." Security feeds showed moving crews entering their executive suites. "You're evicting us?" Michael looked stunned. "Reassigning space to profitable ventures," I corrected. "Your new offices are on the 3rd floor." If you choose to stay with the company. Stay. James sputtered. As what? Entry-level project managers. You'll need to learn actual development skills, not just networking at charity events. Mom collapsed in her chair, her perfect facade cracking. Where will we work? Where will we go? That depends, I replied calmly. Are you ready to learn what real estate development actually involves? The board members were already signing the leadership change documents. Dad watched them, decades of authority slipping away. The family name, he started, will finally be associated with competence instead of connections. I stood, assuming my position at the head of the table. Now shall we begin the real meeting? We have a company to rebuild. Sarah entered with more files. The press is waiting for the announcement. And the bank CEO is on hold. Something about reviewing those loans. I smiled, watching my family absorb their new reality. Tell them the new CEO will call back. After she finishes her first successful family meeting. 3 months into my leadership, I stood at the window of my CEO office. Formerly Dad's sanctuary of mahogany and hunting trophies, now transformed into a modern command center of glass and technology. Below, construction crews swarmed Rivers Tower, implementing the modernization plans I'd developed years ago. Your 9 a.m. is here, Sarah announced. The family's quarterly performance review. I smiled, remembering their first days in entry-level positions. Mom had nearly fainted when assigned to actual property inspections. James struggled with basic development software. Michael discovered networking meant nothing without practical skills. They entered looking decidedly different, business casual replacing designer suits, laptops instead of golf accessories, expressions of determination rather than entitlement. Let's start with the reports. I began, activating the conference screen. Michael, my brother, now a junior project manager, pulled up his presentation. Occupancy rates in the West Side developments have increased 15% since implementing the green initiatives. Tenant satisfaction scores are up 30%. Because you actually talk to tenants instead of just raising rents, I noted. Progress. James shifted uncomfortably. The technology integration project is challenging. But the coding classes are helping. 3 months ago you called computer systems beneath your position, I reminded him. Now I understand why our properties were falling behind, he admitted. The automated management systems you developed. They're revolutionary. Mom cleared her throat. The community engagement programs are showing results. Small businesses are requesting space in our developments. Unlike the luxury boutiques that kept failing, I pulled up comparison data. Amazing what happens when you understand local markets instead of just country club opinions. Dad, who'd taken a position analyzing market trends, spoke last. I've been reviewing your old proposals. The ones we dismissed. Every prediction came true. The market shifts, the technology integration, the changing tenant demographics. I leaned back. Almost like I actually studied the industry. We were wrong, he said quietly. About everything. Not everything, I corrected. You taught me persistence. Through negative example, but still. Sarah entered with updates. The bank approved the restructuring plan. The merged company's stock is up 40%. And the Sustainable Development Initiative won industry recognition. Speaking of recognition, I activated another screen. Let's discuss your future roles. They tensed. 3 months of entry-level work had taught them not to assume anything. Michael, your tenant engagement metrics qualify you for project director. Full portfolio, real responsibility. His eyes widened. Really? You've earned it. Through work, not birthright. James, the tech team reports you're actually becoming a decent programmer. How would you like to head our property management systems division? Head. He looked stunned. But I'm still learning. Exactly. Keep learning, keep growing, keep proving yourself. Mom, your community outreach work has created real value. I'm putting you in charge of market development, if you're willing to maintain this new approach. She nodded, eyes glistening. I never knew what we were missing by staying in our bubble. And Dad. I turned to him last. Your market analysis has been surprisingly insightful. How would you like to lead our strategy department? Working with data and trends, not golf course rumors. He sat straighter. You'd trust me with that? Trust is earned, I replied. Like you're earning it now. I distributed new contracts, real ones, based on performance metrics and innovation targets. To be clear, I continued, these positions are provisional. Maintain this growth trajectory and they become permanent. Revert to old habits. We won't, Mom promised. We've learned too much. Speaking of learning, James added, could I attend that tech conference next month? The coding team recommended it. Michael chimed in. Some tenants suggested local business workshops. Mind if I participate? I'd like to study sustainable development practices, Mom ventured. Maybe take some courses? I watched them, eager, engaged, finally understanding what real estate development meant. Approved, I nodded. All of it. Education never stops. They left transformed, not broken but rebuilt. Like our properties, like our company, like our family. Sarah returned with more updates. The Riverside Complex integration is ahead of schedule. 3 more banks want to finance our expansion. And your mother's community program got featured in Business Weekly. Send flowers to celebrate, she suggested. No, I smiled. Send books on urban development. She's actually reading them now. That evening I walked our properties, gleaming towers and restored buildings, thriving communities and innovative spaces. My empire, built from rejected ideas and underestimated potential. My phone buzzed with family messages. Mom, found amazing local businesses for the new retail space. James, check out this code I wrote for tenant management. Michael, meeting with community leaders tomorrow. Your insights welcome. Dad, market analysis shows promising trends. Let's discuss over coffee. I looked up at Rivers Tower, its modernized facade reflecting the setting sun. The old brass nameplate was gone, replaced by sleek digital signage. Rivers Development, building tomorrow's communities today. Inside, lights burned late as family members actually worked, learning, growing, proving themselves. Not because of their name but despite it. Sarah texted, family dinner reservation confirmed. The usual place. No, I replied. The new development's rooftop restaurant. Time they saw the city from a different perspective. Sometimes the best revenge isn't destroying the old guard. It's teaching them to become the new one. Lesson by lesson, property by property, success by earned success. Class dismissed. But learning? That was just beginning.